So, people are saying Gnarly is good now.
You are under spells, people! You're under spell. I ain't under no spell. You are! You're under a spell!
Like, are we even listening to the same song? Hybe could offer me $3 million and I still wouldn't be able to listen to the full song, let alone call it a good track. But why is the internet suddenly liking it? What's happened in the past few days that made people start enjoying it? Let's break it down. 1. The fans gaslighting themselves. Ever since Gnarly dropped, a lot of fans have been desperately trying to find some deeper meaning in its awful lyrics. I've seen people claim it's a critique of consumerism, that it's mocking K-pop companies for giving groups cringy lyrics, and a long list of excuses to justify that mess of a track. I've had a good laugh reading those comments, not gonna lie. Like, why would Hybe diss themselves? Because if we're talking about consumerist companies with questionable lyricists, Hybe would be one of the first names on the list. But let's be delusional for a second and pretend the lyrics are some deep commentary on our broken, consumerist society. Okay, cool, but who the hell is Katseye to be delivering that message? No offense, but that kind of critique only lands when the artist actually has some creative input, so it feels like it's coming from a real genuine place. Gnarly has 5 lyricists and 3 producers, and not a single one of them is a Katseye member. How am I supposed to take an anti-capitalist message seriously when it's being delivered like a product they're trying to sell me? The irony speaks for itself. I know right now you must be questioning why anybody would even try to gaslight themselves into liking a song. Well, that's something that can be easily explained if you understand how fan culture works. Hardcore fans are not driven by the music, they're driven by the artist. So they will do anything to justify a shitty song because they don't want their faves to be disappointed in the public's reaction to the song. So they'll force everyone, including themselves, to only speak well of it. That's why fan accounts usually tend to ask the fandom to keep their opinions to themselves and only spread positivity when these awful songs drop, even if the criticism towards the song is valid. Reason number 2, and the main reason why I decided to make this video, the music show performances. Honestly, I've got to hand it to Katseye, they devoured every single one. Their energy really elevated the song, to the point where I almost forgot about the horrendous noise blasting out of the speakers. They made it look cool, slick, and cunty. Performing the clean version definitely worked in their favor too, since it cut out some of the more cringy lines. Because let's be real, no one wants to hear hottie hottie like a bag of tacos on loop for 4 days straight. What I don't understand is how these performances convinced people to go on Spotify, hit play, and suddenly decide the song's good. The stages were fun, sure, but that's entirely thanks to the girls' high energy and stage presence. The moment that track popped up on my TikTok For You page, my ears were practically begging me to turn it off. If anyone could enlighten me about how this could happen, please do. Still, I gotta give my 10s when 10s are due. The Katseye members, especially Daniela, managed to make this song almost bearable live, which is a huge achievement. Third and final reason, the song's instrumental actually isn't that bad. If you ignore the dumpster fire that is the lyrics, Gnarly is undeniably catchy, and that's probably why people are saying it's growing on them. That's the power of hyperpop. This genre often comes off as chaotic noise or overly experimental on first listen, but once your brain adjusts, it starts to hit, and before you know it, it's stuck in your head against your will. This kind of thing happens a lot with groups like aespa, NCT, and NMIXX. They've all dropped that one song that got dragged at first, only to end up becoming a fan favorite later on. Anyway, the song itself is absolute garbage. The lyrics are awful, and the fact that there isn't a single ounce of singing, just them talking over the beat, honestly feels criminal. That said, the instrumental isn't bad, and the choreography and visuals are easily the best part of this mess of a comeback. Y'all are not going to convince me otherwise. I just want to end this video by saying that I don't actually hate Katseye. I know I've been super critical of their work, but there's nothing I dislike more than pretending to enjoy something just because it came from a group I like. I genuinely hope this experimental phase Hybe is putting them through wraps up with this era, and that they go back to being the pop queens we know they can be.